Hey, good morning, guys. It's not even 7 o'clock this morning. Young man, Michael, the young man I helped train, just left the house. He was, and by the way, happy Friday. It's the 27th of January. Um, I think a lot of things I try to do without, I try to make myself available to the young men that I help train. So, um, I just, as a younger man, um, you have to give yourself. I'm a little tired. Um, um, he called. He called me before he. Once I made sure he was okay, he just wanted to talk. He's comes from a single mother household, and he's learning how to become a man. He's 22, so you just have to give yourselves a break. Your lives are so much more difficult than my life is. And you can't keep being hard on yourself and telling yourself you're failing. Um, I wrote this down, so I'm going to look over at it so I don't fuck this up because I'm a little. I have a good cup of coffee here, good cup of Texas pecan. But I can promise you that as an older man talking to some of you guys that are younger, at some point in time, about in your 30s, and I would say your later 30s, all of these kinds of things are going to start to make sense. All right. But in your teens and in your 20s and your early 30s, none of this shit makes any sense. Here's an example. When you're a young man, you look over and you see this old guy in this really nice sports car or something like that, or has a nice house or something like that. You're like, well, why the fuck is he buying that car now? Why does he have to have that shit now? Or you see him with a young pretty wife. And it's because they figured it out and they paid their dues. And you got to stop being so fucking hard on yourselves. You're not responsible for the way the world is. You're not responsible for anything other than taking care of yourself, doing what it takes to be successful. And that's just having some plans and doing the work. And it pays off later. Having a plan and grinding pays off later. It doesn't give you immediate returns, okay? You should not expect immediate returns. But I guarantee you, as you get into your 30s, your late 30s, and your 40s, and your 50s, you're simply going to get better. Money will make sense to you. Why you should buy a home instead of rent will make sense to you. Understanding how to make your money work for you. But you have to have a good foundation. Without a good foundation, you're going to get lost. And you can't judge your life by someone else's success. There are so many people out there that are fucking liars. They're absolutely fucking scumbags. And they're in the manosphere. They'll be in your life. They take advantage of people. They just screw people. They'll do anything for a couple of dollars or a couple of clicks or a couple of likes, or they'll promote anything. They'll advertise. They'll say anything to take money from you. So you don't want to be one of those guys. You want to grind. You want to have a plan, a set of plans. When do I want to retire? I need to have a career, not a job. And yes, the hardest part is you can't start out at the finish line. Good average men have to probably start a couple hundred yards in back of the starting line. And especially if you don't have a good man or an uncle. He calls me coach. I mean, I've known him since 2017. I tell him, my name's Frank, and I go, it's okay, coach. But he was so frustrated. He wants to start a family. He's 22. He's in love. He wants to start a family. And he doesn't understand why he can't make enough money right now, because he doesn't have the skill set to get where he wants to go. But he's working on it. He's going into engineering, and he's got what do you call that? Dual major? Is that right? A dual major where he's doing software development and mechanical engineering. Those are the two things he's doing. And he's very smart, very bright. But none of us are good average, man. You don't start out at the finish line. None of us are fucking trust fund babies or millionaire daddies like the Trump. You know, my dad didn't spot me. Okay, we're going out in the world. Here's $10 million to get you started. Fuck out of here. It's so funny. And he's working hard. He's working 2 jobs to pay his way through school, so he doesn't put a burden on his mom. And that's just a really good guy. And he keeps asking me, well, when? And it's just laying the foundation for your future life to be better. It's not easy. It's not simple. And I guarantee you there will be hundreds of thousands of people waiting at the finish line for you and waiting and cheering you on. We knew you could do it. You just have to be willing to trust the process. And you have to bet on yourself. If you're ever going to do anything in your life, you have to bet on yourself. You're the only one that's going to be there. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You're supposed to fuck things up and make mistakes. But what you're supposed to do is after you fuck something up is you're supposed to get up and go, fuck, that sucked. I'm not going to do that again. That's how we all learn. No, it's not easy. No, it won't be fair. No, you're not going to probably ever get cut a break, especially if you're an average guy. You're going to have to work as hard as you can to get where you want to go. But I guarantee you it'll pay off later. If you lay a good foundation now, it will pay off later. I guarantee you. You have to have a plan. You have to know the difference between a job and a fucking career. You have to plan for your future. All right? You guys stay safe and healthy. And Michael, God bless you. I had no idea I'd be up at 5:30 on Friday, okay? But and that's the thing. I hope if there are older guys out there, I hope without pushing the young men around or telling them what they're doing wrong, I hope if you decide to mentor some people, which I decided to do that, is you got to let them talk. You got to let them talk. You have to let them get shit off their chest. You have to understand that their lives are just way more fucking difficult than my life. I can't imagine writing a letter, an email, some of the stupid shit. Look, I just can't imagine what my life would look like if. Anyways, I'll let them. I'm not telling on my fucking self. So listen, we love you guys. We need you. You're our future. But you got to give yourself a fucking break. It's a process. You don't start out at the finish line. There will be a point in time when all of this shit starts making sense. The older you get, the smarter you'll become. All right? Unless you just have a terrible habit. But I'm not getting into the non-positive stuff. And if you have an opportunity as an older guy, and you think you can help a younger guy out the younger men are just as stubborn as anybody. You just have to let them talk. And then you gotta tell them, hey, you need a career, not a job. You need to have a plan. You need to save your money. I mean, they're just little things, but a lot of guys nowadays growing up in single parent homes, they don't have a guidepost that they can hold their hat on. Now, hold their hat on. I don't know why the fuck I said that. Anyways, this is long enough. I've had enough. I'm going to go sit down. I might go back to bed for a while. You guys stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, take care of your fucking self. We need you. You're my future. You matter. You're important. And yes, you're going to mess things up. So, like a fork in a G-string from West Texas, El Paso, happy Friday, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.